Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. See, I was originally going to propose a different intro for this, it wasn't going to
in the middle.
it wasn't gonna be like any way comedically ruin what we've just gone through in terms of the severity of the situation. But I hope we'll do it if we ever cover earlier Torchwood. I'd love to do a rendition where we all sing it together, the theme tune or the jingle of Reese's work. You know, the "You won't be sorry with a Harvard's lorry."
I'm down for that.
Yeah, got him.
It's day 5.
So close.
Donna nearly lost all of her water.
Happy Christmas! It's Christmas Day! And what better way to spend your Christmas Day than to listen to us talk about possibly the most depressing part of Doctor Who
It's
media.
not Christmas unless you get a bit depressed.
Yeah, that's why you watch things like Call the Midwife and stuff, because you have a good cry.
That always makes me cry. I don't watch any of it at any other point.
No.
It's on at Christmas because my mum likes it. I'll sit and watch. I cry. I don't know who any of these characters
Because it's
are.
always the same formula. The doddery old lady goes out for a walk when she shouldn't, and you think
and
she's
fuck
fucking
something
dead.
up.
And there's it's
Yeah,
You
every
can't-
time.
you can't
I don't
have a
know who
good
any of
Christmas
those ladies
without-
are, and I cry.
without a good cry.
Oh, you're so lovely.
Shut your mouth.
I'm Regan, and I am joined by my wonderful co-hosts Donna and Pete.
Yellow.
Hello.
I've got a lovely scarf on.
Yeah, you do. And
It is a lovely
I love
scarf.
it. I'm so happy.
it is, as much as I could, copied from the original design.
It's fantastic.
Unfortunately, there's not many shots of that scarf,
It's
but
perfect.
it's hopefully
perfect.
at least the right shades. So the PM is making a request at the very beginning of this episode. He's requesting that all children return to school.
Big fat fucking no, thank you very much.
Yep.
Absolutely not.
He's got an awful face.
He does.
I'm sorry to the actor, but if that was my... I mean, we're not really spoilt for choice here, but if that was my Prime Minister and I looked on the TV and I was like, I don't fucking trust him. He's just got such a weaselly, shitty little shifty face. Don't like him.
He's kind of like the snake, the animated snake from Robin Hood.
He is!
Except there's not quite the same relationship with John Frobisher.
No.
You just don't trust him.
He is such an irredeemable person. We'll obviously cover more of what he
Although
does
it's
later.
strange
but...
because the first time I watched it, I was a lot younger, I didn't have children then, and I didn't really see why people weren't trusting him at first. But now as a parent, I'm like, nah, there's no way I'd be sending my kids to school.
No.
Not a chance.
I feel like of most of the characters in Doctor Who Torchwood, he is one of the most irredeemable people.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Especially with what happens at the very end and the way that he reacts to it.
yeah.
But we'll
yeah.
fucking get to that. So
Nothing good about him.
we get our unit boy head up.
Yeah, we do.
I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name. Is he a general?
I think he's a colonel.
Colonel.
But he meets with Mr. Dacre and he gives the air a good old sniff. And Mr. Dacre, in his morbid curiosity, he's like, yeah,
That's the disinfectant, the bodies.
10 deep. You can still smell it.
Yeah. And at this point, has anyone talked to Decker about how the fuck he's still alive?
Well,
Do we have this
Well,
conversation?
it's literally here when he says, Mr. Decker, you managed to survive. And he said, oh, I just stood back,
Just
sir.
stood back,
Something
yeah.
that's a strategy that's kept me safe all my life.
He's just a wrong un, because at no
Because
point...
he built it, didn't he? I'm sure he had extra
I
ideas
think-
of what was happening.
Yeah.
He must have known.
He was probably the one where the 456 was sending him additional
"Can you
commands.
just turn that
Can you have
nozzle?"
this way where we can like vent the poison back through? Like, yeah, Chief, that sounds great.
Yeah, bruv.
Of course I can do that for you.
He's such a wrong un, because, like, any other person, if they'd have survived that, regardless of who you were, how you did it, you wouldn't fucking go back.
No.
No.
You'd be traumatized.
Especially not day after either.
Yeah, and he's not needed, really,
No.
at this point. I know it's happening in his department and it's his building, he made it, but he doesn't need to be there.
No.
He's got no qualms about it. It's just like, yeah, we'll come back. He's horrible.
Yeah, he is horrible.
Maybe he's irredeemable too. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah,
gonna
well, I never
I'm just
thought
going to be
this was-
clocking everybody off as irredeemable. I hate them all.
I know. In episode 2, I came to Mr. Decker's aid a little bit, but that was just in what we
Oh,
knew.
you did?
What we knew about him within that episode.
Yes.
I always knew we were heading here. I just
Heading to
didn't.
creepy place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Awful.
you know.
Oh, he gets even worse.
Gross human
He
being.
gets even worse later, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. So,
Oh, I've just remembered what he said. I don't like it.
yeah, yeah. So we get our colonel walk into the room, and I think he says, we're organising your request, and God help me, but before we do, you need these children for something. Are they keeping you alive? No.
Oh my god, this is the worst thing.
Then what are they for? The hit.
The hit.
The hit.
And he's
They
like, what?
release chemicals.
Yeah.
The chemicals are good. Yeah.
They're
It's
it's
not
awful.
even
It's not
to
even
keep
funny.
them alive.
It's
It's
horrific.
awful.
It's
It's like Russell T Davies went for, like...
Who hurt you?
It's like he went, I know, I'm going to write a story about the worst drug deal in the history of anything. It's
Yeah.
awful.
because there's a
Also, how did they find out?
obviously I don't agree with it, but you can kind of make an argument a little bit if it's keeping a species alive.
Yes.
Not-
you can
not
even
just
make an argument for if they just want to destroy the world. But,
But just for
Recreational
Wanna get
drugs.
high.
Yeah.
yeah.
oh my god,
And that they then justify it by saying,
Yeah.
oh, but they've lived longer than their years. Okay, great.
oh yeah, it looks like they're having a great time.
Yeah, they're not in any pain, but
Not in any pain, they can't feel it, but we're just getting high off their juice.
yeah.
Awful.
No.
And it's done, I think, really well, because they just kind of slow pan up to his face just a little bit. Doesn't go ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
But
not. It's
after
not
he
a
says,
Gandalf. Are they secret? Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's-
it just like when he says the hit, and he's like, "What do you mean the hit?" And it's just like, just ever so slightly, you can just see the realization on his face, and you can see it on everybody else's
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You're just like,
And I think our favourite American sergeants, like, yeah, you opened up the market 40 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Now he takes over.
Yeah.
Is it?
yeah, I think this is
He's
the
like,
beginning
"You've
of the takeover.
completely lost any
Yeah.
element of control of this.
Yeah. So we get some horrific behaviour from Auntie Terrorist. So she's got, I think there's a shot where she opens up a door and you've got Alice and Stephen in a
Oh, Alice
cell.
and Stephen, yeah.
And she walks both of them
I've
over.
forgotten about them.
She walks both of them over to a screen where it's the replaying of what.
Yeah!
And both of them, the kid too!
She's gonna let fucking Stephen see that!
And obviously Alice
Alice was
turns-
like, absolutely
No.
fucking not.
Off you
This
go.
is for grown-ups. And then Auntie Terrace is just like, oh, yeah, go and get him a Coke.
Take him for a Coke.
Yeah.
She
Nice
doesn't
little bit of product
She has
placement,
no...
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Take him for a Coke.
She has no children.
No, she definitely
She has
hasn't.
no children.
Absolutely not.
No.
She probably doesn't even know people with children.
She doesn't even
But
know
I mean-
children exist.
No.
We're just totally disregarding security protocols now or anything. Just like, yeah, just let anyone watch all this. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Although I suppose at this point, this secret organisation is kind of going very freelance because Gwen, before everything went to shit in Thames House, she, Auntie Terrace was kind of lowering her gun and she was like, yeah, see what the government are going to do with the kids
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff.
true.
So
And
this
she
is more of
didn't
a...
she cry? Didn't she have a tear?
I don't think she had
She
a
hasn't
tear,
cried yet.
no.
She cries
Yeah,
later.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I remembered when she cries. Okay.
Cries later.
Oh god, I've remembered when.
So,
But also, why does Alice need to see this?
Yeah, there's no.
I know that obviously she's related to Jack, and but I don't feel like there's any necessary reason for her to be shown this. What's she gonna do?
She hasn't
With
got
this
any
information.
training. She hasn't.
How
got
is she
any
gonna
special
help?
Skills.
although she does say admittedly, Auntie Terrace doesn't know this in this moment, but she says something along the lines of, like, if you need one person, you need Jack Harkness.
I feel like she could have told them that without seeing that.
Yeah.
Mm.
It seems a very strange decision
Yeah.
from
To show
Auntie
it.
Terrace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we've skipped over a little bit here. We've got
If we skipped over them saying hello to John and
yeah.
Bridget.
Yeah. So we're in some kind of cafeteria. There's more bodies in the
Dead
corner.
bodies. Yeah.
And Jack's pleading with John and Bridget to let Gwen go home. He's inquiring about Lois, who's being held in police custody for espionage.
Yeah.
Um,
And
I think,
Gwen's still willing to fight.
well,
She's still
yeah,
holding
because she
them
calls
black
up
now.
Reese,
Yeah.
doesn't?
Yeah, she's still saying we've got this and we will show people.
Now,
And Frob's just like, why?
I'm going to raise this now because I feel like I'll forget when we get to the point of when it's raised again. There is a 6-month jump at the end of this episode to the very end scene.
Yeah.
Reese says when he's called up, I'm absolutely freezing.
And then they're freezing again.
What? When?
Doesn't matter. 'Cause it's
Is he
not
just a
6 month-
cold boy?
It's not a 6-month jump because she's 3 weeks pregnant, and that is not a 6-month baby bump.
No, that's a 9-month. I'm ready to pop,
Yes.
baby bump. But you know, Torchwood, timey-wimey,
Yeah.
retcon, baby.
Yeah.
They were a long 5 days.
But yeah, no, I don't know when it's.
It's
No.
difficult to kind of...
It's set at Christmas.
I suppose that's on top of a Welsh hill, so you're close to the atmosphere.
Also
there.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's real cold up there all the time.
But yeah, she's still
Yeah.
willing to blackmail them, isn't she? And
Yeah.
Frobe just gone basically, fucking do it, mate. I don't care. Everything's going to go to
you
shit.
want to send the world into hell a few days earlier?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. He does not give a shit.
No.
And then Jack,
Jack,
just says,
yeah.
just call it off.
Phone
Tell
Reese.
him we're done.
Yeah.
And she does it without much argument.
Yeah.
I know he's the boss.
I don't know if this is necessarily out of character for Gwen. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think she just knows.
Yeah.
She's
She's
seen,
just-
She's seen the
what's happened, doesn't she?
situation. She's
seen it
processing
firsthand.
Yanto. She realizes that everything
Yeah.
that they did was in vain.
Pointless.
Oh, her
That's
having
kind of
to
it.
tell Reese that Yanto was gone.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then where she's just kind of crying in the corner and Jack saying, please take her away, I can't look at
I
her.
can't look at her anymore.
And then, yeah, she hops
And
onto
they
a
do,
little
don't they? They
helicopter.
Yeah. And
Jack gets arrested.
yeah.
So did he say, please take her away, I don't want... Is that genuine, or is it because he needs to get her back to Cardiff?
Because we don't know he said this.
No.
No, we don't
yet.
yet.
No.
But is part of him
I think part
worried
of
about
him...
her? Or is it all just an act to get
No,
her
I think
back?
part of him might be worried about her.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'd like to think so, because it makes him less of a irredeemable shit, but...
But she doesn't need to go back to Cardiff to be comforted. She just needs Reese. She
Yeah.
doesn't need to go home.
Yeah,
He doesn't need
there's a lot to be
sending her
said
home
of being back in your
except for-
hometown just to feel a little bit better.
But if he knows her, he knows she's not going to go back and just sit there and be okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think a lot of it is to get
Yeah.
get her back to Cardiff for where she needs to be,
Oh, okay.
not for where she should be. I think she just needs to be with Reese. It doesn't matter where.
Yeah.
But you know, again, that's my personal feelings on the character coming out, isn't it?
So talking about things coming out and things being revealed, we get another meeting with John and our PM,
Oh,
and
Oh my god.
talking about the inoculation program and something that Frobisher needs to do.
This made me feel ill.
I was fuming. I just, again, we all know I love Peter Capaldi, but it's the way when he hears it and his face is just like, what?
And he takes a long time to get there,
It
but I
takes a
suppose
long
because he's
time.
just in disbelief
Yeah.
about
Well,
it.
he can't believe it, so he's still like, okay, so what? Fake one?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
pretend.
I'm just going to pretend that this is
Because we
happening.
know it's not real, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because I was at that table too.
yeah, so we're just going to pretend that they're getting a
Yeah.
jet. Okay, all right.
No.
It's harrowing.
Yeah.
It's harrowing that he then shouts at this guy, and then just goes, "They're just girls, man. They're just girls."
He breaks in his kind of poshish dialogue a little bit. There's just despair. That's
Yeah.
that's him raw dogging it. But It's made even worse by the PM because he's saying, like, if you make me do this, I will tell everyone. And the PM's response to that is like, then your girls will know where they're going.
Yeah.
Best not.
He doesn't even give him the time of day to even properly talk to him. He just sit there writing notes most of the time.
Yeah.
He's not even stopped what he's doing to say, I'm going to kill your children.
The first time I saw it, I really, for a millisecond, when he looked at him and said, "I'm really sorry," I thought, "Oh, you mean that?" And then in a split second, he's like, "I'm also really busy." I was like, "You fucking twat."
Yeah.
He knows how to play every single person. Every single person. He is the slimiest representation of a sleazy politician you've ever seen.
He's a PM that's aware of his status and uses that because obviously most people in that situation where anyone else would just grab that motherfucker and just start wailing. Yeah. But he knows that he's more or less untouchable in that situation, so he can say anything he wants.
They agreed everyone was going to be exempt.
Everyone at that table was exempt.
I get what he's saying. Not that I agree again.
No.
That someone in the government, it would look odd if no one in the government.
Yeah, it's
but
a
then
good
why
way
choose
to-
someone in that room?
He's chosen him because he can, and because he said it. He's expendable.
Yeah.
And by extension,
He's the one who's
he
kicked
means
up the
that his
less
family-
resistance to anything the
But
PM
there's
said.
so many other people in government that's around them. Why not choose some of them who don't know what they're sending their children to? Why would he do that?
But at this point, would there be anyone who
I
doesn't
don't know. I don't know.
I don't
Or
know.
would everybody in government have been told, "Do not send your kids to these inoculations"?
Yeah, because I think when they initially made that kind of choice that everyone would be exempt, I imagine that was sent out pretty quick.
I don't know. Because initially I thought they'd said that it was everybody around that table that was going to be safe,
everyone around
not
the table.
extended. But it's just awful. And I don't think that they had a conversation about it.
What,
No.
John and Mr. Green?
No, Mr. Green and
anyone.
anybody
Oh, okay.
about the fact that Frobisher's kids were going to be
Yeah.
the sacrifice.
That was him on his own
I
volition.
think that was him
Yeah.
on his own. Because he wouldn't have needed to have talked to anybody else.
No, because had he told
And-
anyone else, he's probably done that for this very reason, that people like Bridget would have been like, absolutely fucking not.
But he knows
Yeah.
he can play John. He knows
Yeah.
that John has done everything he has been asked to do because he
Yeah.
genuinely believes he is saving the state and looking after Britain.
Yeah.
So I think he thinks he'd
And that's
do it.
just where he's just pushed too far, isn't he? Just
Now, slight tangent again.
yes, please.
Well, it's just as depressing, I'm afraid. It's not. I'm sorry. If any of you have seen the brilliant film The Imitation Game.
He's so good.
With Benedict Cumberbatch.
I like the film, but I have
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, maybe we'll talk about that on the show. But there's without any. Have you not seen it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. So there's a scene where, because the whole film is about breaking the Enigma code, the German secret
Yeah.
code. When they finally do that, there's a moment where they realise they can save I think it's a civilian vessel.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, absolutely, well, Benedict
we
Cumberbatch's
can't
character,
do
like,
it.
we can't do that because then
Yeah.
they'll
They'll know
realise
that we've-
that
we've
we've
done
broken it. And they have to make that decision. And I suppose that's what our PM in this situation is hoping John will always be like.
Yeah.
That he's putting the survivability of the many over the needs of the few.
Yeah.
Which all
Just-
the way up until this point he has been doing.
Yeah.
But that's before family gets involved, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah. They're complete innocence.
Just everything changes when it's family.
So John leaves that room and he goes for a requisition 31.
But it's just that he leaves that room and he doesn't even break down. Like the first
No.
time he met the 456
He
and talked to them,
collapses,
he
yeah.
collapsed on the floor.
Yeah.
He can't even do that.
No.
He's got nothing there
Yeah.
right now.
That's it.
Except for
It's like he
I
just
can't
knew
do it.
straight away,
he knows.
didn't he?
But it's just devastating because I don't think he did need to do that.
No.
He could have just got them in the car and
Well, I suppose
driven.
knowing how the episode plays out, yeah, he didn't have to.
He
But
didn't
to all
need to do
intents and
this, but
purposes,
but it's like trying to rationalise somebody that's suicidal.
Yeah.
That is
just
the
can't
only
see
way
the-
out.
That's all they've got
you
in their
get
head.
blinkered, and I think he was blinkered.
Yeah, because realistically, they wanted them children the next day. So
Yeah.
if they weren't found, they weren't found. They've run out of time.
Yeah.
they would have had to find other children. But yeah,
They could have
in
run
that
away.
moment,
They could have
you
run away.
can't-
Which I think is what's so heartbreaking is
Yeah.
that it could have been so different. He could have just run away. He has a car.
Yes, but he does have. So the PM does say that there's select news crews around the house, which we do see a little bit later on. So it's not like he can make a clean escape.
He can fucking try.
Yeah,
He
I
could-
would be trying.
He could have run. I'm devastated about the
Yeah,
whole
it was
situation.
awful.
He could have fucking
And
run.
Bridget knows straight away, doesn't she?
As soon
like,
as-
why do you need that?
Yeah, but
Why?
remember,
just does
Frobisher's the
that.
one who's been in main contact with this assassination bureau thing.
Yeah.
So he knows how, well, within the context of the universe, not within the context of the episodes that we've seen, we know how efficient they are. Obviously not so efficient. But,
Yeah.
so I think that's probably part of the fear, that he knows he can run, but it won't matter.
It won't matter. Yeah.
Oh, it's just heartbreaking.
And
But
this,
she does it for him, which I think, again, just shows just how beautiful she is.
Yeah.
She does it for him, and she knows.
And she is heartbroken, and you can see that she is heartbroken.
but this is what will, so this is what we'll come back to now, what we were talking about earlier in terms of Bridget's previous relationship with Frobisher.
Yeah.
Because he gives her a kiss on the cheek. That is obviously a goodbye kiss, but also a thank you kiss.
Yeah.
I do think there was something... I don't think he was ever unfaithful to his wife, because wasn't it like 20, 30 years before
I think
all
she
of
said
this that they
30,
first
yeah.
met? So
Yeah.
I imagine there was something, perhaps,
Yeah,
I
I
still
still
think it was
don't
all
in
think
the
so.
early...
one-sided.
I still don't think it
'Cause
was
she
anything
just-
other than
she
pure
seemed-
friendship.
She seemed shocked to me. So I think she had a big old crush, and it was never given back to her.
I think it was purely platonic. I love that. I love
Okay.
that we've got these.
Yeah,
great,
it was
isn't
three
it?
little
It's
stack of
brilliant.
views.
Because I don't know. I just feel like that was just so pure and just so innocent.
I love the way of looking at that, but then we do have Lois being told she wasn't the first.
But I don't think that needs to have come from Bridget. She'll have seen so many other staff members come and go.
Because she says it with, like, ownership, like, I was one of them.
I don't know.
No?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not
I
sure.
don't feel it.
I felt like it was. I wish I was one of them.
Oh, okay.
This is
No.
so cool.
It's crazy.
So cool. I absolutely love it. But oh my god, fucking broke me again.
Yeah.
She acted the shit out of that.
Yes, she did.
Because again, she didn't really show very much, but you just felt it.
Yeah.
It was all felt. And you're just like, oh.
But before we get to what the Requisition 31 is for, we've got even more sadness, because we've got Gwen, Andy and Reese in a car. We do have a bit of fun from...
Andy's just
From Andy.
fucking cutest little man.
I love
But he's
her,
also
Andy.
the one who wants to stir up the most shit, because when,
course he does.
when Reese is like, she's pregnant, he's
Hilarious.
like, oh yeah, who's the father?
hilarious. But even after even after Reese says whatever he says, Andy still looks like
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, really though, who's father?
But we get the absolute
Oh, the
sadness of Gwen saying that she's proposing
I
on
keep
getting
it.
rid of it. And this is where we were talking about in episode 1 or 2, where she does say outright the pill didn't stand a chance,
Yeah.
retcon,
Yeah.
radiation and all that stuff, it ruins your life.
Yeah.
I can understand Gwen's thought process given everything that's happening with children. Like, you really want to have kids in this world. It's
I know
a
quite a few people who
horrendous
feel
future.
that now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like my sister won't. She's like, nah.
But obviously not having much thought around the individual she's saying this to, which is,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think she does.
what, even in this moment?
I think she knows that she's saying it to Reese, and she doesn't care that she's saying it in front of him.
Yeah, but she does further down the line.
I don't think she does now. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think she's angry.
Yeah, it's just because
She's been sat there probably in dead silence in a whole helicopter, and now has to go and do a horrible thing and tell somebody that they've lost somebody. I think
Yeah.
she's angry. I don't think she cares that he hears right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that he's done anything wrong.
No.
And it's not necessarily that she means it overall, but in that moment,
In that
she
moment,
means it.
everybody says stupid things sometimes when they're pissed off.
Yeah.
I think she means it.
Yeah.
Let's cover because all of this is cutting back and forth, and it's going to be
Yeah.
fucking chaos
Yeah.
if we do it in that order. So let's do the Gwen stuff first of all. So we come up to the I can't remember. It was the Crown Estate or
Yeah,
I can't remember what they call it. Palace.
Palace Estate?
I think it's
Yeah,
Palace Estate. And
£10 per kid zone.
yeah, Johnny's got his flashing billboard outside.
Or isn't this the point where they've decided it's free?
Yes,
She's
yes,
decided
they've
it's for
decided
free
yeah.
because my brother called me and told me not to trust the government.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
because
we
he
just
said
got them all.
she sends
So I've told the estate.
Yeah.
again. Although horrendous behaviour, because she sends out her 8-year-old
Child.
son.
The
Go
one
and
that
tell
she's
the
just said,
entire
no, you guys
state
can't go anywhere
by
without
yourself.
Yeah.
She's literally just saying,
I
no,
did
you guys are
that one.
staying right here with me, and then
Yeah.
sends him off. I was like, I'm sorry?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Come on now.
So, they pull up. Andy has a few questions about Yanto.
Is he gay? I'm like, come on.
Did they really meet properly? I can't really think of a scene where they had any kind of in long.
I
time
don't
with
think
each
they
other.
met.
No.
No, I'm sure there's a big
Or
finish
if
up.
they,
where
or if
did.
they did meet it, they didn't speak.
No.
Maybe.
And when they arrive at 10 quid a kid house, Yanto's sister immediately thinks that they're there to shut
Yeah.
them down.
Yeah.
That's where we see Johnny playing on the 360.
Yeah.
We don't even see if he's playing with another kid. He might just be there.
I think he's just playing.
soloing it.
He's
Um,
making the most of not having to go to work or
Yeah.
having to do anything. He's like, no.
And
Probably
Gwen's
great
freaking out in this situation because she's been. I think this is where we get the flashback to
Oh,
Jack
goat, yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
Yanto has a niece and nephew
"Save them." Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so now she's
she's looking
trying to-
around the room like, first of all,
Which one?
which one, and also, do you want us to save all of these kids?
Yeah.
I don't even think she's questioned it. I think she's going, right, okay, take stock. How many we've got? We're saving them all.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I
Oh,
think.
see, no, I was thinking, she was thinking, which one is the ones I'm saving?
Yeah, I thought that.
I think that she would just do it. She's like, okay, I've got all these kids. Let's go.
Okay, fair.
Fair. I mean, that's what she does, isn't it? She
That's what she
does
does.
look
I-
after them all. so.
Because she's just proven again and again in this entire series that she'll look after anybody. She didn't know Clem. She didn't
Yeah.
need to look after Clem. She just needed to get the information that she needed to get from him.
Yeah.
But she basically became his lifeline then.
She has been very much like the...
She's been the carer of
Yeah.
the group
You're right.
this whole time. I think she'd have just been like, I think she's shocked by how many kids there are. She's
Yeah.
like, fuck,
Yeah.
how am I going to do this? But I think she's ready to kill anybody to save these kids.
Okay.
That's where I'm coming from.
But before we get a bit more on the estate, let's go back to... Well, we'll go to a cell that Lois is being held at. And we get Bridget turn up, and we get the story of John Frobisher. I was going to write it all down, but then I realised that I didn't want to subject you guys to the heartbreak of dialogue from this scene.
Well, it's beautiful. What she says is pure beauty.
Yeah.
And it's just... The way she says it shows the love she had for him.
Yeah.
However that love
However
was.
that love,
Whatever
but
that love
there's
was.
definite love.
Yeah.
I think the bit that stands out for me is when she's saying, "Oh, everyone just kind of like overlooked him," and she was like, "Well, you know what? Keep an eye on
Keep
that
an eye
one."
on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love the way she's just like, he was really clumsy. You wouldn't think to look at him now. But I think even if you do look at Peter Capaldi in any capacity, he looks like a clumsy
Yeah.
fucker. So I just...
And that she sounds like she was still shocked that he'd requested her all that time later, that he'd remembered her.
Do you think, at this point where she's talking to Lois, that she knows what he's done?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or...
Yes,
are they
because she's
happening
constantly
concurrently?
saying, "I want you to remember that he is a good man."
He was a
But
good
I don't
Or was
know
it?
if it's
yeah,
actually-
is there?
No, she
It's
says,
past
"I was."
tense. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if it's happening at the exact same time.
Well, it may
Oh,
not
I
be,
see.
and
but
she's just preempted that she knows what he's going to do. And she's like, I need to sort this right fucking now. And has gone
Oh,
to
yeah,
do
so
I
it
think,
might, he might, yeah, it might
I think
be
it's
happening at the same
literally
time.
happening at the same time.
oh, okay, interesting. Yeah.
That's how I choose to see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, I
Because-
suppose as we as an audience see it at the
that's how
same
we
time,
see
it's
it.
cutting back and forth.
And I think it just, again, solidifies how well they knew each other. She knows exactly what he's asked
he's
that
about to
for.
do.
And she knows
Yeah.
what he's going to do. And she knows she can't stop him. And why would she? Because she can't see a way out of this either.
Yeah.
Because this is all that they've got to go on, is that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
And to be honest, if anybody like described me as like, remember how good he is, I'd just be fucking honoured for that. Like, I don't think he can get much better praise than that.
no.
With sincerity.
Yeah.
Like, it's beautiful, man. It's fucking sad.
Given the job he's in as well, I mean, unfortunately, most
to be known as
politicians and
a
civil
good
servants just
person.
are not
Absolutely.
good people. But
Yeah, to be known as a good person is just fucking awful. Like, it's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
So for those who haven't watched the episode, but for whatever reason are listening to this podcast on Christmas fucking Day of all days, John Frobisher, he, like you were saying earlier, he's in the car and you got the news crews around him and he's not looking at any of them. He is just dead staring. But then when he comes in and his two little ones run over to him, he's doing the usual, we assume, usual kind of greeting.
They are
and-
so happy to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been away for ages. And then he just sends them upstairs, and you
Yeah,
can
I
see
think-
they're
I-
kind of a bit like.
I think
"Oh,
the
we're going
kids are
upstairs."
okay in this moment, but the
But the
wife
wife
is
is-
clocked on.
The
to
eldest looks back
Does
as
she?
they go
Oh,
up,
okay.
and she is a little bit frowny face.
Oh, okay.
She's a little bit like, "Why are we going upstairs to the one room?" And then he just grabs his missus and just kisses her all over, and then she goes upstairs as well. And again,
And
frowny.
And you see the first kind of break in character for John Frobisher, because when he picks up the gun and like puts the clip in, you can see that
He's shaking.
He's shaking.
Yeah, man.
And just that slow climb up the stairs,
He
Pis-
just resigned himself. that this
pistol
is
behind
right.
his back.
And it's such a difference to what's happening in that room because they're pillow fighting
Yeah.
and they're
But that woman's just sitting there looking
Yeah.
out the
She
door.
knows
She knows
something's wrong.
exactly.
But as soon
what's
as that
happening.
door starts to close, they all stop.
They all stop, but they
Yeah.
all turn around. And then the speed at which those first 3 rounds go
Yeah.
off is like awful. And then the gap.
The pause and then
Yeah.
the
After
final
the
shot, and
fall.
it's louder
Awful.
as well.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's awful. And it's beautifully done again.
yeah, and
This
there's
whole
no.
series
And I'm
is
really
just-
glad we didn't see it.
You didn't need to see
We
it.
didn't need to see it.
I think I was apprehensive of raising this point, and I don't think I will in its fullest. We'll happily talk about it after the episode. Happily is probably the wrong word, but at least in what I do, there's a perfect depiction of just how rough it can be, and then going back to just job. Because Bridget describes all of this, and then you see all the stuff with John Frobisher, and the literal line after that is like, right, I suppose I should get back to work.
Back to work.
Yeah.
And there was a point, I'll talk to you guys afterwards about it, but there was a point like that where I had to deal with quite a stressful, very sad situation, and then it's like, well, right, back to it.
Yeah, no, same for me in a previous job I'd had. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So we'll cut back, because I think this is pretty much the cut back to Yanto's sister's been told. We see it, we don't see it, it's off screen.
Yeah.
And she's in tears. And Gwen's trying her best to kind of
Connect
talk
with
about
this
it
woman.
more, but Johnny's not having it, and he's just like, leave her alone.
Neither is she.
No.
She tells her to get out.
Well,
And
Gwen just chooses the wrong things to say. doesn't she?
but admittedly, Gwen's come through a lot. You can give her some
Yeah.
laps in this moment. She's running on fumes at this point.
Yeah. She's lost her friend as well.
Yeah, she's trying her best to
Yeah,
relate,
she's just-
and she's just not
Yeah.
coming across
And
as
it's not
that.
her fault that Yanto lied to her.
No,
No,
because
it's
we get
not.
that reveal as well.
Yeah.
That Yanto saying that his father was a master tailor.
Yeah.
He worked in Devon's. Yeah.
We're a bit deflated.
Yeah, we are. But we do get some, because I think Reese comes through the door at this point and says they're here.
They're here. Yeah. He's in the.
Seeing the troop.
Oh,
trucks.
of course, yeah. Because the back in government, haven't they? They've said we haven't hit our quota.
Yes,
of
because
kids at the
60%
school.
have decided to stay
yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
And our favourite voiced commander is like, well, we better
We'll
go
go
and
to
get
phase
them.
2 then. Let's go get them.
Mobilise.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, the acting throughout this entire fucking series has been stellar, but there's
Yeah.
scenes like this that stand out, where you've got the mums at the school gate, you've got the
And yeah,
teachers.
It's the
Mr.
teacher.
Patel, who can fuck right
Mr.
off.
Patel
Big old
deserves
fucking
death.
cunt. He's our cunt of the
He's the cunt of the week.
cunt of the day.
It's just
Yeah, just get these kids out of here. And she's like, no.
that teacher, badass bitch.
Yeah.
So no, you can't just fucking take these kids.
No, but he's like, yeah.
Yeah. I want a teacher like that.
filing. Probably a headmaster. I'm imagining
Mr. Patel.
Yeah.
No offense to headmaster.
He's one of those wankers who has like a golden eagle on his desk.
Yeah.
He's a big old prick. Fuck you.
Yeah, but the parents as well,
Where they're getting
and the little lad running,
taken
trying to
away
run.
from the parents.
Yeah.
It's-
And
The kids, I mean, it's good enough that the adults in this series are fucking good, but all the kids are, except for that one that didn't freeze at the right time.
So she tried.
given the amount of child actors, I think we could
We've
probably
done- it's
we've done
fucking
very
good,
well.
like-
It's very good.
The amount of giggling they probably would have been, like, 'cause, there's soldiers everywhere, there's buses, we've got to scream. They'd be giggling, but there's those they're terrified,
and
and they're
'cause if
doing
you
a
look
bloody
at the
good
big-
job at it.
The big crowd ones, there's not really anything that you can think that that stands out to me. Someone's messing about.
Yeah,
over there.
yeah.
admittedly, it's a very small. I'm assuming you're talking about when they're all rallying at like the rendezvous.
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
It's a very quick shot.
Yeah.
And I imagine there are some. I haven't gone through it like frame by frame. I imagine there are some duplicated kids because there's no way they've got that many children or some CGI kids or something.
don't
There's
know.
probably something
Maybe,
going on
yeah,
there.
yeah, in different
There's some
coloured
duplicate.
uniforms,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's probably some duplicated shots going on there. But even I don't know whether they just had them acting organically or whatever, but that bit again with Mr. Patel when they're all filing through the corridors and stuff, and you can see that there are some kids who are like, "Fuck this, I don't want to leave class" and stuff.
Yeah.
There's some very organic reactions
Yeah.
there, where you've got kids who are looking confused, ones who are
Yeah.
looking dazed, crying.
A couple of
There's
girls at one
some-
point that hug each other. It's really good. It's really clever.
There's a lot
Yeah.
happening there, which makes it so organic.
Yeah.
Um,
If they were just filing out single file, it would just been a bit like, okay,
But considering the ages of these children, they have done really well.
really,
Yeah.
really well.
So out of all the child actors, there's one that it particularly impressed me in terms of their acting and also the age that they were, and it's Yanto's sister's youngest.
The little girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
Wait,
was
the
incredible.
little.
You
Yeah.
little girl. Yeah,
I think I know which one you mean. The little blondie.
I think she
The
dirty
dark
blonde.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she
Oh,
has
yeah,
some
yeah.
fun dialogue earlier in the series when
Yeah.
they're talking about the raid and the oldest pissed the bed and she's like, "Ha, you big
Yeah,
baby."
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the bits like towards the end
Yeah.
of this episode, she's
Yeah.
stellar,
Yeah.
absolutely stellar. And there's a pirate TV station that's been set up showing that these yellow school buses are taking away the children.
Taking the kids away, and that there's army vehicles everywhere, which shouldn't be there for inoculations.
No,
Yeah.
although there were army vehicles for COVID, weren't there?
I didn't see any army vehicles for COVID.
I don't think
There
so.
were there were troops around
Really?
Yeah.
When?
in the So there was is it the Odeon in Canterbury? I'm outing myself a bit
Yeah.
here. Fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
There's where they had like a jab centre there.
Oh, okay.
They had.
I didn't go up that way. It's a bit far away from me.
I got my jabs done at a Sea Cadets place, so there were lots of Sea Cadets volunteering, but
But they had
didn't
they
see
had
any
army
troops.
They had troops there.
Oh, I got mine done in a closed down communication centre and everything.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's too far out of belief considering what some of the places.
And also,
I
yeah,
suppose
there's an
it's just for coordination, isn't it? You've got
Yeah.
a military there. That's the quickest way to get order into place, and people are going to be more willing to follow people in army uniform than they are police.
yeah, true. Yeah.
So I think I've skipped a few notes because my next note is about Johnny rallying the troops. I suppose we're kind of there.
I suppose we're kind of there because we
Yeah.
just come back in and said, look, we've got to go.
Yeah.
We've got to figure out how to get all of those kids.
And they do, because this is part of Johnny's distraction, that he rallies all of his
Lads
around
all of
me.
his
Yeah.
lads,
all his boys around the
Yeah.
block.
He's so cute.
And he's very good at it, isn't
Yeah,
he? He gets
he's
them
terrific.
quick.
He's a proper man of the estate, isn't
Yeah.
he? He's
Yes.
like he's buddies with everybody.
They're going to take our kids, and
You're
they're
not
like,
getting them
"No."
back.
No, they fucking ain't. And then we
Um,
get. Are we talking about Andy Boy?
Well,
Oh, I loved him in this bit. Oh,
yeah, he does
Yes.
finally come through. There is a bit where he's, understandably, because he's having a real kind of moral
Yeah,
clash
yeah.
here, because obviously police aren't meant to fight against the army.
The army, yeah.
yeah.
I think he didn't need to take off his tie I think he could have.
I think he needed to take off his tie. What if the army men grabbed him by
He
his
could
tie?
have spared a few seconds. I can understand taking off the police uniform, but
I wouldn't have taken off my fucking bulletproof vest.
well, no, I
No.
probably would have taken off.
That was a choice.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm a man of the people. Taking off all of
here's me with my perfectly ironed collar.
Yeah.
But I mean, he could see all of the kids getting taken away, couldn't he? He could see that's.
Yeah, he
I'm
was
being
watching
lied
them, wasn't he?
to.
He was watching them being grabbed.
This isn't
Yeah.
this isn't what I've signed up for.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he still has a job after this because in season 4 he's still with the police. I'm glad that wasn't.
Yeah.
But obviously he didn't know that. He
He
threw
just went
all
for
of
it.
that
Yeah.
to the wind and just went for it.
Yeah.
To save the children, and that just shows how lovely Andy is.
He's a good boy.
He has now. I'm thinking after Christmas I may download some. He has. I don't know if they're standalone episodes, but where he is the main protagonist for some Big Finish
Oh,
stuff.
cute.
Is it the actual actor?
Yeah, it's the actual actor.
I love him.
Oh, that's cute.
Good.
So I'm gonna see if I can source out some because I'm done with Billis Manger. You know, I can probably do the 6 or 7 stories I have for him, and I can start to download something of a bit more variety. But yeah, he does have some. He's come back quite regularly as Big Finish.
Good man.
Good.
But unfortunately, it's well. I suppose they're not thinking they're really going to outmatch the army. They're just there to be a distraction for Gwen and everyone else to
Yeah,
get
just
away.
to get
Getting the kids
away.
out. Yeah.
Because they're all heading to another dilapidated warehouse thing that's just so happens to be on the outskirts of this
Of their
estate.
estate, yeah.
Now, I do have a note, but we'll have to, because this note covers a note further into the episode, we'll have to cover it then, because otherwise, spoilers for the first. So, here we go. So, this, I think, is where Mr. Dacre has his daft cunt.
This is where he
Of-
gets
yeah.
nutted in the face.
Because I think this is when Jack also gets broken out of prison as well.
by anti-terrorist.
Yeah.
She needs him.
If
And they just leave Lois.
yeah,
Yeah, which is a bit
I don't
harsh.
think they do full Dacre to the poor policeman who's just patrolling that hallway. I think they just kind of pin him down.
I think he's just pinned.
Yeah, I don't think they full on gun slap
No.
him to the face. But again, Mr. Dacre, like it's the same thing as in Torchwood season 4. When you see something like that happening, you see it and slowly walk away. You don't walk in and announce your presence because they haven't seen him until he's halfway into the room, and then someone decides to slap him.
Unless he did rig the valve system.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's trying to he's going, oh shit, they're going to see all the other things the 556 have told me to do.
Okay, yeah.
That's just me.
Maybe.
No, I suppose, yeah. Because
I mean,
we never
they
get
had to have
clarification.
someone, didn't they? Because they're stuck in the tank. They're not. They can't do it themselves. They had to have someone.
I think he's the big bad. And he's
I'm
trying
with
to
you.
cover his tracks.
I'm with you.
Yeah. But yeah,
And-
gets
and-
fucking gun slapped to the face.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
And both of them get taken to indescript location where their main headquarters are.
Yeah.
And they're now full on looking for a way
Which actually, I'm just thinking about it. They've fixed up considerably well, considering they've had half a wall ripped out by Yanto and his telehandler.
It's just half a wall.
That's half a wall.
That's where the toilets are. You know? And we don't know for sure that this is the same location.
I think it is.
The cells look the same.
Cells are exactly the same.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Drippy corridor is exactly the same.
Okay. Yeah. So both Mr. Dacre and Jack are taken to this location.
Yep.
Anti-terrorist is full on, we're going to fight now, the 456.
Yeah.
Is there a way that we can do it? And they're talking about wavelengths, and Mr.
Yeah.
Dacre's like, I've been analysing these for years. And it's like, full on shoot him in the leg.
Yeah, just shot him in the leg.
Good, should have been the
Fucking
top.
great. But, what
Leg
I
was a
will say
mistake.
for what I will say for anti-terrorist is at least she fucking has a plan to stand up to the 456.
Yes,
instead
she's
of,
gone in
yeah,
with
we'll
far
fight
more
you.
thought.
Yeah.
She's seen the people that have attempted to and brought everyone kind of together and is
Yeah.
using the assets that are there and
Go anti-terrorist.
just going with the thought of doing it and nothing else.
Yeah.
So this is something that we didn't even talk about because we get it at least initially at the beginning of the episode.
I was going to say, yeah, we were going
is
to go.
Gwen's message.
Oh yes.
Um,
Message.
where, because they've all hunkered down in this warehouse, it's beautifully shot. Gwen's face is partially covered just by shadow.
But you don't realise at the beginning when you first see it, she's got a little kid
She's
sitting on
got-
her lap.
I think it's Yanto's.
I don't think this is. I think this
Oh,
is
is
a
this
different one. This is a
different little one?
little blondie. This
Okay.
is little blondie.
I can't remember the ins and outs of what she says, but the basic premise is like, I wanted to ask Jack a
Wants to ask
question.
Jack,
I wanted
since
to ask
the
him-
old days, he wants to ask about this doctor of his.
Doctor of his.
Why he is here sometimes and saves the
not
world,
others,
but
yeah.
isn't at other points.
Sometimes the Doctor must look at this earth and turn away in shame.
It's just fucking gutting.
Yeah. And the way that Reese just kind of pulls down the camera,
And
a
he's
single tear.
Because like it wraps up something very nicely. That he does. The Doctor doesn't save everybody all the time. He
No.
doesn't come and sort everything out. There's multiple things in a lot of his companions' pre-existing lives that would have benefited
Yeah.
from him coming down and stepping in. The Holocaust, for example,
Yeah.
and other fixed points in time and shit like that he could have sorted out. And it just vocalizes it perfectly.
Yeah.
It fixes a lot of holes just by saying, yeah, he must think, fuck. Because he rages at humans a lot.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, he thinks he's right. Sometimes we're not fucking worth saving.
A big, massive alien encounter. That's like the big thing you'd think he would be there for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just, yeah. He also obviously can't be everywhere all at once. I know he's got
No.
a time machine, but he can't be everywhere all at once. And yeah, he must just look at it and go, yeah, fuck it, hell, man. What have you done? What the fuck have you done?
So
It's horrible.
something that we didn't, I suppose, because it was just the emotion of the moment, and forgive me for going back to it. But obviously, further into Capaldi's, and we haven't yet got to this point. We're a few episodes out where we get the final clarification and connection and realization as to
Why he's got that face.
why he's got that face. Obviously, we can never have it with John Frobisher, and because it can't be like, I'm the Doctor and I killed my family once.
Yeah.
It can't.
No.
No. When I first heard the announcement of Capaldi being the Doctor, I did think whether there would be a way, but I just don't think
I think
there is.
this is just like
Unfortunately.
another Colin Baker incident where he's
Yeah.
like been a Time Lord once and is
Yeah.
now the Doctor. I think it's just a let's brush the
I
sound of the
asked
radio.
Alex this last night. Which way round are Peter Capaldi's episodes? Is this Torchwood bit, the series, before or after
Fires of Pompeii.
Fires of Pompeii?
I want to say after, because Martha's already had her run
I think it's after
just after.
because Pompeii Capaldi is Catherine Tate.
Yeah,
I think it must be after.
just after. Yeah, because if we're thinking, yeah, it must, because this was 2009. Eccleston's era was 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. Yeah, right after. Must have been just after, I reckon. But I don't know that for sure.
What I said was, I said at the time, I was like, so he's got himself in Doctor Who, then he's got himself in Torture. So I bet he thought at this point,
I'm never going to be the
I'm
Doctor.
never
Yeah,
gonna be the
Doctor
it's never
now.
going to happen.
Never got a chance now.
Fires of Pompeii was 2008.
Yeah, so Fires of
yeah.
Pompeii would be first. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Just after. Well, they really, because he looks a lot more youthful in Fires of Pompeii than he does in this. But I suppose they really kind of show. So I haven't actually said this during this episode. I don't know whether you can say it as someone who's met this individual, but John Frobisher, to look at, and some of his mannerisms reminds me so much of my own father. There's at least.
I totally see that.
Yeah, the
Okay.
serious looks, like the bit where Bridget's telling him to get his head down for an hour, and then someone comes along and says the PM needs to see you, and that serious look that he gives.
Yeah.
My dad has done that to me so many times,
Yeah, no, I see that.
to the point of where I'm humming. Duh, duh, duh. But yeah, so, and Dad did look that way a lot of the time because he was having to work long hours and stuff. I mean, there was even a point when, before we were living London way, we were living in Cornwall, and he was having to do the commute to London.
Oh fucking hell!
Yeah, I mean, it was a high speed, but that's still
That's still a long time.
that's still a long time. And just constant bags under the eyes, and he was constantly thinking he was going to be laid off and stuff, and just the stress of that.
Yeah, no, that is awful.
Yeah, I just saw a lot of John Frobisher. Thankfully, not too much.
Not too much. Yeah.
But I saw a lot of John Frobisher, and my dad, at least, while he was working for, I suppose, the same kind of industry. So Gwen has her message, and then she has that moment where Reese wants the confirmation about.
Did you mean it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that to you, sweetheart.
Of course I didn't. Yeah.
the affection between these two is just something else. Like, you get some characters calling each other sweetheart, and you think, oh, that's so insincere. But with these two, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no,
You just
I know what you mean.
feel everything, and I'm not a toucher, but the way they're she's always like grabbing his face or like touching him.
Yeah.
It just feels so organic.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So I didn't really think I was going to talk about this in this episode, but I suppose it's better time than any to kind of discuss it. We won't do it in full because it's a whole tangent. But Gwen I've always had trouble with, and I suppose it's from my own kind of moral standpoint with what happened with Gwen and Owen in earlier seasons. As much as I do believe that she loves Reese entirely, still what happened back then doesn't sit well with me. And there was never really any kind of closure, because she did tell Reese, I think it was in season 2, but then she just retcons him, so he doesn't. We don't know if he remembers it.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. I don't think he does.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose again, it's a great way of writing. Never like perfect characters. Everyone's got a morally grey part to them.
Yeah.
I just think for me it was one I could never fully get past.
Yeah, it's not fair.
No.
But it's something that they do in Doctor Who relatively frequently, taking each other's memories and being okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we'll get to later this series.
Yes. Wait, are we talking about Doctor Who?
Yeah, boy.
So we get our Bridget having a bit of a stare at the PM.
Mm-hmm.
And
again, when I first saw it, I was like, what's she doing?
what's she up to?
Yeah.
Whose chickens are up to something?
Do you know what I thought she was going to do the first time?
Shoot him.
I did.
Oh, what?
I really did. I
pull out
thought
a
she
crack and
was
just
so
end him.
angry about John, and it was him that pushed him to it. I thought she was going to go for him.
Okay.
I really, really did.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yes. She was going to go full
Murdering
Joker.
down the street.
Yeah, I really did think, like, she hadn't agreed with any of his decisions. She knew he was wrong.
Yeah.
She'd pushed
That's
this
not-
person that she really cared about.
Yeah.
That's not too much of a leap, to be
I
honest.
really did think she was going to go for him in that moment, that stare.
Pete, you'll be glad to know that we're getting to the point that I alluded to 2 episodes ago.
Okay, good, because
Because I've been sitting here worrying.
I'm confused.
Yes, don't worry. We're getting there. So...
Not now, though.
Not now, though.
No. We are seconds away.
Okay, all right.
So we're back at anti-terrorist gaff, and she's talking about ways to fight, and they're like, "How do we fight it?" The same way that they did it before. You know, talking through the children. We need a child. To which Jack's already like.
But it wasn't it Decker that says it?
Yeah,
With
it's
like
Decker
a
who says it.
grin on his face.
That kid's gonna fry.
Yeah, that.
It's almost in like a weird, horrible Australian-y weird accent that's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just all of the enunciation is just all wrong.
He's just too excited about it. It's
Yeah,
very
why
weird.
is he excited? It's horrible. Centre of that. Oh,
Yeah, centre of the resonance.
he's gonna fry.
But even Jack initially, because he knows exactly
He knows who it's gonna
what's
be.
up,
But-
and he's telling him to shut up, and he's like, "We'll find
We'll
another
find
way."
some- Yeah.
And even anti-terrorist in this moment has also clocked on, and she's like, "One child or millions?"
Or millions. We
Now
haven't.
again, why would you choose your own family?
He hasn't chosen though.
No, that's
Yeah,
just
but-
been put in that situation.
But I mean,
What can you
at
do?
this point,
You can't advocate for going out and just nabbing a
I
kid.
would. If it was the choice between my child and
yeah,
another
that's
person's
fair.
child, I would not choose
But they're
my
in the
child.
middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
and they've got minutes. I completely agree.
Yeah, we're not
Like, I hate this whole
Never ever
situation.
take Pears' take. We do not advocate for anything nor condone any actions taken in these 5
No.
seconds.
It's absolutely awful, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd just let it play out. I genuinely do not know if you just...
do it.
No. But Jack, I suppose, is cut from a different cloth, and he's had that disconnect as well from the family. He hasn't seen them all that much.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the emotional attachment to Stephen. I'm not justifying for anything.
No.
Because the main point
you
is
can't
that
get this right. There is no way to get this
absolutely
right.
not. But Jack has, and it's kind of what we get with. Now, this is jumping a little bit ahead, but it's kind of what we get with me in later Capaldi stuff, where she just has the disconnect from everything. She's lived that period of time.
Yeah.
You build up walls in that period. You've lost, so why would you lose again? You know, you just kind of snowball it. And he can come to that decision because he's had that many more lifetimes than anyone else would have.
Yeah.
He's able to come to that decision almost very kind of Spock-like, where it's just like,
This is logically
logically the thing to do,
Yeah.
even if it's fucked.
Yeah.
Terrific.
And
I would be fighting a lot more than
It's-
mum is fighting.
and Alice has caught on at this point, and she's just like, "No, Dad."
But
you-
the repetition of what she's saying, no, Dad, no.
yeah.
Yeah.
That repetition, that franticness is really good.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even say anything. It's just a very light nod, and
Little
she
nod.
just full on guns it.
Guns it.
Now, this is where we are at the thing. Did you know that in the original DVD release of this... Why are you looking at me with such
I'm
disdain?
confused!
In the original DVD release of this episode in particular,
Yeah.
it was scored differently.
I had not clocked.
It has a
Me either.
completely different soundtrack.
What does it have? He's taking his headphones off.
Where am I? I'm over here.
Are we going to be allowed to play this?
Well, no, because I might cut this.
Oh, it's so much better without the music.
I don't.
Do you think?
I don't need to cry.
I
on the
think it's
internet.
better with the music.
I think it's better with the music until a point. I think as soon as he opened his mouth and started screaming, they should have put
Oh,
the music.
okay. No, I think it's better with.
Ooh, I liked it up until that point.
Because I've rewatched this series so many times, and I cry far more at this version of
I
it.
feel more panicked
than-
watching that
'Cause again,
time
when they're taking
because I
all the
rewatched
kids,
on the iPlayer.
when they're taking the kids from
Yeah, I
the
watched iPlayer.
from the warehouse, it's just again that kind of drawn Frobisher like. "Ah."
Yeah,
But with that, it's got the dun dun and
yeah, that I liked until the point. I think when Stephen opened his mouth, it needed to just be that sound because that's awful.
I
I
think
think I agree because that's such an important bit.
Yeah,
And it needed that.
But I did some digging, and because I was like, why is this? Because I didn't
Yeah.
realise until a few years ago when I did a full Torchwood watch party with Harrison to introduce him to this part of Doctor Who, and I was watching it with him at home, and it was like, this isn't right. I know this. There's music. There's drums and shit. There's no specific reason out there as to why this happened, other than the original cut was released, I guess, dispatched as like a digital copy to the DVD producers, and they made a decision to change it after that fact, by which point it was too late and the DVD
You'd already
versions
got it,
had already
yeah.
gone out. So that's the only reason why there is a difference between the BBC televised
Weird,
version
isn't it?
and the
Very
DVD
strange.
version.
That doesn't happen very often, does
No.
it?
no,
But yeah, for me personally, I do prefer the DVD, and I understand what you mean about the quietness. But I think I've just become so accustomed with there is drums,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
the dramaticness of that leading up to the bit at the end. But so we, to cut that back together, the little ones are running away. The soldiers are tackling
the adults.
Reese and Yanto's sister, but Gwen's got Yanto's
She's-
sister's youngest and is just
bombing it
bombing it. And
because I just don't know how those kid actors weren't actually terrified. I know obviously they film things very differently to what we end up seeing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, especially that little and just being held on to this woman and this woman's
Yeah.
pegging it. You'd panic. I'd panic.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a panicker. So I think that's fair. But like,
Makes you wonder what gets said to the kids, doesn't it? Like how to make it fun.
yeah,
Because how young do you reckon that youngest is? 4?
4 or 5.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
And while this is all happening, it's been revealed that they are going to take Stephen.
Yeah.
Alice is in the corridor. She's been cornered by 2 guards. They grab Stephen.
yeah. Firemen's carry him,
And they've taken him to the little...
and the poor little fucker doesn't even try to run away.
No,
he just stands
he's
there.
just like, he trusts
He's
his
doing
uncle.
he's doing exactly what Clem did. He's trusting Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just being like, what do I need to do? He's trying to help.
And Jack, again, has gone non-vocal, because I suppose you would in that situation. You don't want to accept that there is an individual there
even
at
look
all,
at him.
let alone someone that's family.
Ugh.
I just want him to comfort this boy.
But if
Just
he did,
lie.
I don't think he would go through with it.
No, maybe not.
He's just not accepting
Just
that that's...
lie and say it's all right. I don't know. I don't know.
Again, like you said before, there's no right or wrong
There isn't.
with this.
Yeah.
It's
Well, he
just
managed to do
horrific.
that for Clem, didn't he? He said it's all going to be all right, or you're going to be safe, or whatever it was he said.
Yeah, but he didn't really say it with any kind of comfort. He said it almost like in a dream state. It's like, it was all right, you're safe. And he just kind of sends him off
He's
into
doing his job at that point.
Yeah.
isn't he? Whereas this is like,
He's begrudgingly saying... Well, not begrudgingly, but he's not... his heart's not in that.
yeah.
Because he doesn't
Doesn't care.
and also that this isn't family. This is just a kid that he met half an hour ago.
Just heartbreaking.
It's awful.
And so again, obviously I didn't get you guys to that whole scene, but again with the drums and stuff, and it's just intercutting between him doing the kind of flinching.
The acting of this kid.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I mean,
How do you reckon they did? Was that maybe a time lapse that they sped up? and
Yeah,
they
I
just had
wonder
to
if
keep
they've
him
just
very
asked him to
still and
like
just kind of
jerk a little bit. Yeah. and
similar
then
to what
sped
they
it
did
up.
with the Doctor when he was being aged
Aged
by the
down,
Master.
yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Starts bleeding from his little ears.
yeah,
Oh, it is awful.
I need a cracker.
Comfort cracker. You just know how much pain he's going through to have blood coming from his ears
Yeah.
and his eyes and his nose. And yeah,
And he can't even.
he can't do
He
anything.
can't do anything, and he can't let anyone know he's in pain. He can't put his hands up to where the pain is because he's stuck in this scream.
But as he's doing it, all the other kids,
All the other
is-
littles.
and
have
as I
stopped and
made the
screamed.
point during when we were watching it, Yanto's sister's youngest, absolutely acting her little feet off.
She is incredible.
It's her little face, and she's just covering her little teeth.
And the time of day they've decided to set that. I don't know if it's like sunset or whatever, but she's got that low sun hitting her as well.
got that really warm
Yeah.
glow. Yeah,
And
and then we cut to what the
4, 5, 6 are
don't we?
doing, and it's just kind of twitching, and then we get more shots of the kid screaming, more shaking from Stephen, and
Yeah,
4, 5, 6
explodes.
Explosions.
now.
Bish bash bosh, and explosions with
Red
blood.
Blood.
Red blood, which that's fine.
Okay.
That's not the problem that I have.
Okay.
The problem
have
that
the
I have
problem-
is that it gunges all over the window, blood's all over the window, fire's all over the window, and then when it's fucking gone, the windows are crisp clean and almost like it's a new fucking tank. What the fuck is this shit?
I like to think that the teleportation of fire has taken everything with it. Ta-da!
Go
Fixed.
with it. Go with
Do you imagine the 4, 5, 6 who have like sent this reconnaissance individual and they teleport this puddle in and they're like, oh fuck.
That went wrong. Let's
it.
leave
So we're not
Earth
going
alone.
back there.
We sent Jeff out there.
Oh, Jeff, he's come back and he's a puddle.
Jeff Puddle.
Yeah,
Yeah, now,
that's how I look at it.
do we reckon that this particular creature is dead? Because it teleports out.
Does it teleport
But
out,
does
or does
it-
Or is it
something
pulled
teleport
out?
it back?
Maybe he's.
I have no answers for you in case you were worried.
That.
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to do
Maybe
it.
he didn't want to go. Maybe he was doing it for the sake of his
I know, because it was for fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, we can't, there's
We
no...
can't-
I was trying to redeem it back.
We
up.
can't redeem him.
456 is a big, fucking
I
ugly,
tried.
three-headed bastard. It's like,
I tried.
I think he's dead.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
you
he's
think
dead.
so?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think so.
Ooh.
I think that is like a... Yeah, because
How one of my heads exploded. Let's leave.
No, because there was like all blood. There's no way to contest that it got very seriously hurt, but I think that was a retreat. That wasn't like a death.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that there's any kind of like... I'm not advocating for a return of the 456. As interesting villains as they were, they benefited from a one-season treatment. I don't really want to see them again.
No.
But with that said, I personally don't think that individual creature died.
Okay.
And I'm still angry about the clean tank.
Fair enough.
And it's cleaned up very quickly because our colonel's like, yeah, the 456 are gone.
Yeah.
We get I don't really know what I describe that salute that we get from our favourite American.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just
Callous.
fuck you, I guess.
Yeah. It's
A
like,
single.
I've got to do this because it's in the rule book, but I don't care for you. And the Prime Minister, the way he's sitting at this point,
Yeah,
does
he
look
may as
like a
well have
little
his
kid to
feet up
you?
on the chair.
He just looks like a stubborn,
Yeah.
told you so little kid there,
Yeah.
doesn't he? The way he's sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that I hope that that's done on purpose, like to make him look like
yeah.
a sleazeball twat.
But we get a bit more because after the generals left, he says to Bridget and to Mousy Lady that he reckons that
Oh my god, yeah.
he considers
This-
them lucky,
Lucky day.
because the Americans took command with
command.
the
Yeah.
like kids and stuff, so he can
It's
just
not
say it
his
was
fault.
all American hands. Outrageous fucking behaviour from this cunt.
But also,
Mm-hmm.
he's fucking risking going to war with America. America,
Yeah,
if he
that's-
comes out with this shit,
Yeah,
America
NATO's
took over,
gone.
This is
They'll,
not my
they'll sink
fault.
our bastard little island.
He took
One
over.
bomb.
Yeah, I definitely would have done it like that.
No.
I would have done it differently.
He's starting war with America,
Yeah.
is what he's done right there.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't get the chance to.
No,
thankfully.
no. Now, this is not really the I don't think Bridget is PM material, but I think out of the two individuals that stand before this PM, I think it's probably Bridget that I'd far rather have in power than Mousy
Mousy.
Lady.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
Mousy Lady was still advocating for...
She was still horrendous.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
still fucking awful.
She's Margaret Thatcher point two.
She was still... As much as she was saying, like, yeah, I'll let Lois out and stuff,
Yeah.
which we never see. I think that's the last time we see Lois.
That is the
when
last
she's
time
in
we see her is when she's
prison.
going,
Yeah.
Jack, Captain Jack, are you okay?
Yeah.
Take me with you.
And saying like, oh, I think a great many things will change from here. I don't know whether that's commentary on just how little that's probably true.
Maybe.
That just
Or how little that
Absolutely.
man has done.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, they're going to release all of their eyeball recordings because turns out Bridget's been wearing
yeah,
them as
yeah.
well.
She's got the i5s.
Excellent.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that she took those off Lois.
Because
And
we
that
get
Lois was like, yeah, this is how you use them. Blah, 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 blah.
clearly no guards on that door.
But, query,
Yes.
do they just record anyway?
Mm.
Or has somebody opened up a little laptop? Because as far as I'm aware, no one is working Torchwood at this point. No one's got a
Oh,
laptop
very true.
open.
True.
So has any of what he's said in the room with Bridget actually been recorded?
That's the scene that we didn't get to see. She rendezvous with Gwen and it's like, right, let's have those files. And she's like, what files?
Yeah, we're not recording. We didn't have our laptop open.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she
But-
was just hoping for like that to be. She may not.
It's
have
the threat
cared.
enough.
Yeah, it's just the threat enough.
Maybe she just assumes that it's going to be recorded because it was recorded before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know.
But either way, it's enough to
That's
overthrow the
that's
current
the job.
PM.
It's nice to fucking frighten him.
Unfortunately,
that one moment of
replace a
fear.
psychopath with a lunatic. But
Yeah.
um,
But that one moment of fear on his face and just think, like,
Yeah.
fuck him right. Hate him. He's so
It's the least of what he
irredeemable.
yeah,
There's nothing good about that man.
does.
no. I think that makes us pretty much done with everything happening in this current time. unless we've got anything
No.
else. No, have we got something? Oh no, fuck no. Sorry, because we got a bit more with fucking Alice.
We've got she's obviously been allowed in.
yeah.
We've seen anti-terrorist cry
Yeah.
while Stephen is dying.
That's where she
Decker
cried.
can't fucking look because he's a sleazebag, coward twat.
I hope he gets hit by a bus.
I hope he gets hit by a bus and dies. And then, bless her, she finally lets her in to see her dead boy, who again is acting superbly.
Yeah,
That is
because even when she's
believable
like
dead body.
she's pulling him up and down. You can see like his hands kind of like bending.
Yeah,
into
it
the
gets
grate
kind of
and-
caught in a little bit. He did it so well.
Yeah.
Beautifully.
And
Whether that was maybe a dummy from the back, I don't know.
I don't think it was. I think it
No,
was him.
that was him.
I think it was him.
Sure.
But like, again, I think she is the weakest actress that we've got in the group because
I
I
agree.
Well, the mum.
I don't
See,
know
this,
if it was just.
this is the
yeah.
point that I was making, but you came to her
I came
aid.
to a because I think that at that point,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
this is just something now where I don't know if she just, as a actress, can't fathom it and can't tap into that emotion she needed. But I just I don't know at that point.
I
If it
think
was there.
I think the whys aren't needed.
Yeah, it's very cliched.
Yeah.
But then if that's in the script and she's been told to say it,
Yeah, she's probably only working with what she's
It's
got.
just now I'm a parent watching through the glass her son die.
Yeah.
Just watching, not a chance. You'd be trying to get through that glass, no matter how many times you did it.
You turn your hands bloody.
Yeah,
you
you would be. You'd have broken hands. You would be trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. You wouldn't
Yeah.
just give up.
She
on
does.
watching.
She does give up at
She
one
doesn't
point.
just-
She just
yeah.
kind of slumps.
Yeah.
stands and watches. But this isn't a.
It's not
This is a
realistic.
run-down building. That isn't reinforced glass.
No.
No.
Get whatever fucking object you can. Go back to the soldiers you've just decked. I need your fucking gun.
Yeah, and just
bang, bang,
machine
bang.
gun that window. Yeah,
Yeah. But then I don't know. Would you be able to look away?
true.
Would you be able to look away from your son? Not your son. That sounds
No.
awful.
Well, no, but let's not
your
put
son.
real life.
no. That was really badly worded. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah, but
You can't not with this point, but
definitely like punching your hands
Yeah,
bloody
yeah,
on
yeah.
the window
I
Yeah.
don't know
I
if
don't
she
think
let
you
herself
could.
down for that.
because she
Yeah.
almost came to terms with what was happening.
Yeah, it was just too quick to be like, okay, this is happening.
Yeah,
Just that's not realistic.
No.
At all.
still better than random douchebag in the room who was like, "Yeah, I have kids, but
Yeah.
I'll happily put them in the fucking thing."
Maybe he wasn't sure if he was the dad.
Maybe there's a whole big Finnish backstory to him.
But then, to kind of come to her defence slightly, when she comes into that corridor and he's just sitting
Yeah,
there,
when she
Oh,
says
yeah.
nothing, that's perfect.
that
was
there's
beautiful.
she is dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She is
that's fair.
that is cold as fuck. Didn't need to do anything except
No.
for walk back out.
Yeah.
Didn't need to say anything. It was
That was
was
very good.
heartbreaking.
Yeah,
But also, okay.
yeah.
Again,
Yeah, we go. Speak. Of this.
I understand Jack's been through a lot right now,
He is.
but I don't feel sorry for him
No, you shouldn't.
at all.
No, of course not.
I know he's just lost his current partner, his grandchild, his daughter, all at once.
I think
I
this is
don't
where
feel
the
sorry for
series
him.
perhaps
Do
would
a
have.
tiny bit.
Do you?
Ooh, okay. Do you
But
want to?
again, because I
Ooh.
know how I would feel if I lost my child, so he
Okay.
would have. I can sort of feel what he's feeling, even if he's
Hmm.
only feeling it for a second
Yeah.
before he moves on to his life, his next life, or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm.
I can. Yeah.
I think they want you to.
Mm.
I think the way they've written it and the way they've written his departure,
Mm.
I think they want you to, but I can't.
I think this series would have benefited. The series overall, Torchwood, would have benefited with it ending at series 3. Because I
I
found it
agree.
very difficult to even like look at Jack in series 4, knowing with what happened here.
Yeah. I feel like the
They
way
could
he
have made-
left, the way he ran away, I hate him.
Yeah.
He's left Gwen. I know she's got Reese, but he's left her on her own.
Well, we'll get to that because I
Yeah.
suppose that's where we're cutting
That's
to
where we're
next.
coming to,
Is
yeah.
6 months down the line.
Yeah.
Or 9. Depending
Probably.
on the size of that
Definitely.
bump.
It's got to be 9. They just had the
That
text the
baby's
wrong way
coming
up.
out any minute.
And we cut to a very cold Cardiff Hill.
In the summertime, maybe.
No,
'Cause it's 6
well,
months ago. he was still cold.
Fucking hell. Reese is just like cold boy. And yeah, he absolutely could have chosen a pub. This motherfucker's like,
He knows
presumably-
she's pregnant.
Yeah.
it's not like the Doctor where he couldn't control where he appeared.
Nah, he's just walking.
Yeah.
He hasn't even had his vortex manipulator. He's just been walking.
Yeah. But no, decides it has to be on a picturesque hill,
Yeah.
and essentially says, I'm
off.
I'm off.
I know you haven't seen me for 6 months, but now I'm actually leaving.
It'd be interesting to know what, because there has been, and this is another Big Finish that I'd love to look at some point in comparison to this. There's apparently a Big Finish, or at least a book out there, of what Martha did in the 1 year between the Master's takeover and Last of the Time Lords. I'd love to know, because obviously Jack now has resulted to, I have to leave Earth, and he says in his own words, I've got a lot of dirt to shake off my shoes.
Yeah.
What's kind
he
of
done?
got him to that,
Yeah.
where because he says again, the whole world's like a graveyard. He's clearly had time to kind of reflect, and it's like, no, I have to go. There's no home now.
Yeah.
It's
I don't care.
well, no, fair, but it would just be
I
it would be
really
nice as
don't, I'm
extra
sorry.
Docky Who content. I'm not saying it's ever going to redeem him. It would just be nice as extra stuff, just extra fluff, just to see what that
I
looks
just
like.
don't feel for him.
No,
I don't know if I ever did. Even from when we like first met him and stuff, I was a bit
Really?
like, I thought he was fun, but I didn't really feel any kind of like
now okay.
emotional.
Now
attachment to
you
it.
brought this up. I wasn't planning to, but it may be many years until we get to it.
depending on where we go next. who knows?
Yeah. It was very clear, at least to Donna and I, that a certain individual within the most recent series of Doctor Who was almost like an archetype recreation of Jack.
Rogie boy.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you get a similar kind of feeling, or was it completely different?
I feel like I don't know. It will depend on if we get any more of Rogue and if he's better rounded out.
Yeah, because a lot was forced
If-
into that one episode.
Yeah, but he feels like he's at least got some sort of
Foundation.
and a better backstory than we've ever had from Jack.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
We've had a lot with, especially in season 2,
We've
where
had
we
a
learned about
lot.
his childhood and.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't like the guy.
Yeah, okay,
I don't really
fair.
like John Barrowman, so I don't know if I'm getting that bleeding in.
No, okay.
But I think with Rogue, it could be exactly the same. It depends on what happens next.
Yeah.
If anything happens, I don't think anything's going to happen next
You're not
with Rogue, to be honest.
fuming about him.
What,
him
about
being
his
in it, or-
existence, or that
When
he
we
went away?
watched it, the second he came on, I was like, that is Jonathan Groff. We're going to get a singing episode. He's going to sing in this episode. And then he didn't sing.
No, we
And
already
at
had
the
our singing
end-
episode with the
at
Goblin
end of the
King.
episode, I was like, wow, how could you get Jonathan Groff and not have him sing?
Maybe he wanted
What
to
is
stretch
going
his
on?
acting chops a bit.
Yeah,
So he's got
But
to
yeah,
come back
it-
so he can sing.
100%. They've modelled him completely
Yeah.
off of Jack.
Because the lovable rogue is definitely a thing that a lot of... I mean, I can understand the dislike towards John Barrowman and Jack as a character, absolutely.
Yeah.
But for me, I think I did love the kind of lovable rogue to the point of... Because, again, it's a character with fault. I prefer characters with fault because
I generally
they're
do,
more
yeah.
interesting
I
just to
just-
look at as
yeah.
a character study. And, yeah...
I just never warmed to the character.
Okay. I think season 2 for me was definitely a warming to Jack kind of
Fair.
thing.
Did it then not just get ruined by? What
Oh
we've
no,
just
it
did?
absolutely got slated by this shit. And yeah, so let's kind of round this off because we could study Jack.
We could study Jack for an
all night.
eternity.
Um,
'Cause I'm not saying he's not a well-written character. He's
No,
a
he's
fantastically
very well
written
written.
character. But I just don't care about him.
Fair. You're not. I don't know if we've ever covered this. You're not a face of Bo denier, are you? What?
I just don't see why they made that connection.
Okay, but you're not denying it.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because
yeah,
there is a
he's-
whole like colony of people out there that
Oh yeah, no.
full
He's
on
definitely
don't accept.
No,
Oh,
the
okay.
same character, otherwise they wouldn't have added that.
Cool. No,
But
that's
I don't see why they bothered.
Just shock factor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
shock factor, but then it does make the face of Bo a bit of a cunt because he could have like said a lot of things and
Many things. It'd be like, oh yeah, we
don't be so cryptic about it. Like,
Yeah,
give
yeah.
us more information
Remember
than
that
that.
time when we did all of this stuff?
All of this
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't deny it.
Mm.
Fair. But also,
Okay. So Jack's upon this big old hill, and they turn up, and Gwen's unrealistically pregnant, and
yeah.
he says that he's going to leave. Gwen gets a bit teary because she's hoping that he might stay for her.
She needs a friend to stay with her.
Because I suppose everyone else is gone, and we
Everyone else is
now
gone.
the list where he lists
Oh,
off
where he
all the
lists off
people,
names.
and we even get a Susie.
Yeah.
But we mainly get Owen's theme playing in the background as well. Beautiful. And he talks about having to go onto like a star cruiser that's going by, and he just needs to send a signal, which is, I guess, the hint for giving back the.
Yeah, giving about a vortex
vortex,
center, which she,
yeah.
for some reason, has carried with her.
Yeah.
Mm.
So she obviously knows.
She must have known something was going on.
Yeah, that he's going, because otherwise she wouldn't have had it.
She would have had it on her person.
Yeah. So what kind of message was that she received, if not through that? Unless Jack can tune into the vortex manipulator. Did he just fuck a library computer? I'm not saying that in like. I'm not saying that in like a crude fashion. I'm just saying, did he like?
It is Jack.
Did he install the Torchwood software on this Windows 98 computer, and before it exploded, sent a message to his vortex manipulator?
I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose neither did the writers, because we never get.
We never get an
answer
explanation.
and she's begging him, saying, "You can't just run away."
She's literally begging him.
But then she could have not brought the vortex manipulator, and then he couldn't have run away.
Yeah.
But she's a good person.
I know.
And he isn't. At this point, he is
Yeah.
not.
No.
Because I get it. He's gone through a lot.
Mm.
So is she.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she needs him. And she asks him.
Begs him.
And he says no. Doesn't even have the courtesy to say no.
Just watch me, basically, is
Just
what.
watch me.
Yeah.
What a fucking cowardly thing to do.
Yeah.
I think he says it while he's teleporting.
Yeah.
He's already pushed the button.
Just
at this
watch
point.
me. Just watch me abandon you.
Yeah.
Somebody who we've been through a lot together, and I told you I've cared about you.
Yeah.
No. Again, selfish cunt.
Yeah.
He's
So
the cunt of the 6 months. Yeah, we've done cunt of the day. He's the cunt of the next 6 months.
yeah, I don't know if it's quite silly, cunt. It's worse than that.
He's just a cunt.
But do we because again, I struggle with the kind of timeline with this. When we next
It's
see
ridiculous.
Jack, I'm pretty sure it's at the end of Tennant's run,
Yes.
and he's at the bar and stuff, which I suppose makes sense because he looks fucking depressed,
Yeah.
and quite rightly so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where. Now, a lot of series. This is a very inconsequential point, but a lot of series I've noticed where they have like a standard outro, sometimes throw in quite a melodious track.
Yeah.
This could have done with that instead of going into the da 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 da.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. You just suddenly get very jarred, don't you? Okay, cool. Yep.
But that is the end of
That is the
Children
end
of
of
Earth,
Children of
unless
Earth.
we have any further points on this. I'm so sure, Pete, you had something you wanted to raise further in, but I think we bypassed that and just
Don't remember.
zip and zapped towards the
Too
end.
upset.
That is fair. So a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
From
everybody.
everyone at Never Ever Eat Pears.
Christmas.
We hope that you enjoyed this series.
I
We're
didn't.
also sorry.
I'm traumatized.
But you know, we did it for you because
Yeah.
some Doctor Who and stuff is for hopefully a lot of people for whatever they're going through. And it's nice to
Yeah,
enjoy new content, whatever form that takes.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely on Christmas Day, it'll be nice for me to be able to watch
Oh, wait.
something on Christmas Day, Doctor Who related. Oh, wait.
Breaks my heart.
Yeah, me too. But now I'm giving back to people.
Yeah.
I'm accepting my fate. But thank you so much to Pete and to Donna, who have wonderfully given up their time to go through these 5 episodes. And a little peek behind the curtain, 3 episodes at the end, all in one night.
Hey.
With cheese and
Yes,
crackers
yes.
and chocolate.
Yeah, we did it.
The only way to do it.
Yeah. Oh, we went
But-
through a lot.
We did. We did. And in the spirit of that, we have a Twitter account.
I love it.
It's brilliant.
It'll be in the show notes because I can't remember the name. And please do share this with your Whovian fans because it helps to get it out there. We're slowly building this audience, but it'd be nice to get some comments. Please do, if you feel like you'd like to, throw them in the comment section and we'll read them out on the next episode. I imagine it probably won't be until the new year, which is fair.
Yeah, probably not.
But we will be continuing on with our Capaldi run.
Where did we get to before the flood?
We got, before the flood.
Nice.
We're getting nice and soggy with our ghosty boys. And until the next time, Donna, Pete and I are heading into time and space.